curses. They do their jobs. It is dirty, exhausting work and involves a lot of wind and mind-numbing ground surveys. It means construction crews are delayed, millions of dollars lost, developers watching impatiently while salvage workers dig up artifacts and skeletons. At one of her sites, she found the remains of a more recently dead man, a body pitched off the side of the road. A few weeks later, she found another, and she began to wonder, what is the difference between someone who died months ago and someone who died 1,000 years ago? Time grew thin for her, as if she could see through it. Navajos kept showing up, hitchhikers and transients telling her she better slow down with all this digging. She began to feel like a looter herself. She quit her job. I asked if she would ever go back. She nearly cried, shaking her head, saying, "No, no, no." Then she straightened her face, looked at me, and said, "You know I would." This book is about the underbelly of archaeology, from both a personal and a global perspective. It is a first-hand exploration into the many reasons we loot. To loot is to freely take something that is not yours. There are night diggers pillaging tombs and rioters with bats and crowbars pouring through the unhinged doors of the National Museum in Iraq. There are scientists who say it is looting when artifacts come without paperwork. Museum curators have called it looting when repatriation laws require them to turn over prized pieces of antiquity to faraway countries demanding their heritage back. Fingers seem to all be pointing at each other. If you are one of those people who have strong opinions about who should own ancient cultural property and who has the right to do as they wish with antiquities, you might be surprised by your reaction to what you are about to hear. If you have wondered what all the fuss is about, what is so important about some clay seal lost in the desert for thousands of years, I hope this book will help you understand. I have found myself lost in the entanglement of antiquities. From the lowliest dirt geeks to credentialed excavators to the world's biggest antiquities traffickers, all of whom you're about to meet, few hands are clean. With this formidable cast of characters working often at cross purposes, the atmosphere can get a bit testy. Several people I began following during the writing of this book were by the end either dead or in jail. Others had only to endure the humiliation and fear of having their houses and collections raided. In no other field of research have I encountered so many people who have wanted the other party dead. At one point, I interviewed an antiquities broker. He seemed like a nice enough fellow, and a few days later heard a rumor he had put a price on the head of a troublesome foreign journalist. Another man, a pot hunter now in prison, explained to an undercover agent that you should always go into the field well armed. And if law enforcement pays a visit to your digging operation, you drop him and never come back. Meanwhile, a university archaeologist has publicly implored troops to shoot people plundering archaeological sites in Iraq. On a more personal note, while I was reporting on a federal raid on looters in the Southwest, a friend sent me a note warning me to watch my back, saying the illicit artifact community was out for blood. You don't get this kind of talk from geologists or stamp collectors. Why so much contention? We are dealing with the physical remains of all of human history. What one person takes often destroys it for another. A big gamble when we are here for such a short time, one thin layer of generations atop thousands of years of ancestry. What we do now forever changes the context of artifacts. Some see the fight over who should be able to own the physical past as a war. In order for an artifact to sit on a dealer's shelf, it must often be laundered beyond scientific recognition, the bane of archaeologists. In order for it to be in the hands of science, it is often secreted away into storage where it may never be seen again. In between are many hands scrabbling for whatever they can get. An old Utah pot hunter once took off his bracelet and passed it to me, an inlay of silver and turquoise, probably a century and a half old. "You know where I got that?" he asked.